Hey, it's Eric O'Keefe, and today I'm here with Leanne O'Keefe Cox, and she is another amazing, amazing member at Fitness St. Pete. And what's special about this interview today is that the time we're talking about, 10 months ago or so, Leanne and I actually did this very same interview. But she's seen such amazing results in that time now, decided to bring her back on and talk about the new results, her experience, and all of the updates. So, Leanne, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share your story. I appreciate it.
Oh, sure, my pleasure.
All right, so let's kind of get everybody a background. Let's kind of like set the stage and let people know the last interview where you were at. You had been in there for about 2 months into the program. Where were you at the last time that we spoke?
The last time we spoke, I was really just starting to see the improvement. I saw an increase in my energy. I was starting to drop some pounds and some inches, and really could tell that there was a change that was starting.
Yeah. So you were starting on your journey. You were starting to create habits, a different lifestyle. Like it was all at the beginning of that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And for the people who haven't seen the first one, what was the issue that led you to train at Fitness St. Pete initially?
The main reason there were two real main reasons that I started with Fitness St. Pete, and the one that was the most significant for me was a lack of energy. I turned 50 in March, and I my running times were getting slower, and I just felt a slump in my energy, and I, I didn't want to continue to be that way. And I was starting to think maybe that's what 50 was the start of for me. But I met Diane, and she said, nope, that's not, this is not the end. We've got to fix this. And making the diet changes, going gluten free and dairy free, and adding protein was huge for me. I was starving myself protein, and I didn't even realize it. So there were some easy fixes. And then there was the work in the boot camp, which, it's been tremendous. It really
So you started to see the light, I guess you could say, after those 2 months when we first
absolutely.
spoke, right? You saw the
Yeah.
light. And so now let's dive in because you've gotten to really experience it now for
Mhm.
almost at the time we're talking, 10 months, almost a year. Actually, it's been a year that we're talking.
Yeah, exactly.
So you described the atmosphere before, but now you've gotten to really know people. So share with us what that feeling is like. What's it like being part of that whole thing?
Oh, it's a great feeling. It's a team environment. There are so many people that have been like family, over the time that I've been doing this, and then there's been some newcomers that have come and learned what they needed to do and moved on to continue to do that. I've brought some friends on from my running group because I just felt like it was such a significant change for me. I knew that there were people that I knew and ran with that could really benefit from doing this as well. So for me, it's been incredible. There's been several people over the years that I've been there that have remained and just are quite an inspiration to me, and vice versa. So it's been a tremendous experience.
Okay. And now, obviously, one of the big things that keeps people going is the result side of things, right? You talked about now the atmosphere, people, kind of that stuff. What have you noticed? What are the big changes that you've seen since the last time we spoke?
Uh, the big changes that I've seen are my weight has gone down. I've gone down from a size four, usually around a four in my jeans, to like a three, and then the last time I bought jeans, I had to go down to a two. So that was pretty amazing. Yeah. So I've seen significant changes in the sizes of my clothing. Not to mention, just my body has changed. My tummy has always been my biggest source of, oh gosh, this is where I carry my extra weight. And that is starting to get quite a bit flatter. I don't have the quote unquote sides muffin top I used to have. I've got strength that I didn't even know I had in my upper body. Um, and my glute region, as Diane says, we've grown me a butt. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
very clear,
Yeah.
what I've seen. Yeah.
What about in terms of actual weight loss? You talked about dress sizes, pant sizes. What
Um,
about weight loss?
I've lost a total of 18 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, so I started at 130 and I'm down to 112. So my dress size, I haven't bought a dress recently, but I would imagine I'm down to a four from like a six. Yeah. So yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, I feel so much better in my clothing. The
Hmm.
clothing I've had, I get rid of some of them because they just don't fit anymore. It's an exciting. exciting feeling. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned one of the big initial reasons that you had started going there is you just felt horrible. Your energy was terrible.
Exactly. Oh
What have you
yeah.
noticed about that now? Where's the energy at?
Oh, energy is so significantly different. I no longer need to do little cups of coffee at the end of the day to try and keep the energy up. There's some vitamin supplements that Diane recommends that have been extremely helpful to keep the energy up, even during my runs, my long runs. There had been times where I'd be, say, 6 miles in. I'm a half marathoner, and that 8 mile mark was always where my energy started to tank. And with what I've been doing, I've noticed an extremely significant change in that, where, yeah, my energy just throughout a day, never mind the running, has just been, just significantly better.
Well, have you, on the running side of things, have you noticed, you talk about energy and getting through the race, have you noticed a difference in some of the times?
Yes. Another thing that was part two of what brought me in the first place was the energy loss, and then my running times changing. My half marathon times had been going just terrible, like where I never thought I'd be. And my goal has always been to try and complete a half marathon in less than 2 hours, and I'm on my way to doing that. But I started doing half marathons about 5 years ago, and the first few were pretty good. And then in the last year and a half before I met Diane, the times had been going down significantly where I was so frustrated. I was walking a lot during my races. And now my times are improving. So the last race I did, which was in November, it wasn't a PR, but it was pretty darn close to getting back to there. So I have really been working my way back, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
incredible.
And it
Yeah,
sounds like, and I could be, I mean, just picking up from what you're saying, it sounds like even just since the last time we talked, confidence levels are so much higher than where they were.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do these changes, right? Not just the racing times, the energy, the weight loss, everything. How does all of this, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's like I've gotten a new life back for myself. It's a place I wasn't sure that I would see again. A year ago, almost a year ago when we last spoke. But I could see a glimpse of that. Back in March. So it's pretty, yeah, pretty incredible that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it,
I
I feel
liked I liked the thing you said earlier where you said, "Oh, you kind of basically were just accepting the fact, oh, this is what 50 feels like."
right.
But the reality is, right? Like I like that you said that because now you get to see the difference. So if you were to say
hmm
an age that you feel around now, like what would that be? You don't I'm guessing you don't feel 50, but would you give that an
No,
age what you're feeling at?
no. I would like to say I feel like I'm in my 30s, and I do home health care physical therapy for a living, and a lot of my patients will tell me, "Oh, you weren't born then," when they'll be referring to a year, and usually they're talking in their 70s or so, 1970 something, and I have to say, "Oh, I was born in 1967," and they're like, "No way," So
Yeah.
it's incredible. Yeah, a
And
lot of people don't
and so I
believe.
mean those are just patients and people that you see and clients.
Yeah.
What about
Mm.
family and friends? What have they noticed? And what are the comments that they've been saying and kind of just giving you as feedback?
Oh, my favorite is my son. My son is 10, and he often will come over to me and he'll just squeeze my arm and he'll say, "Mom, you're fit." That's what he often says to me. "You're fit." Yeah.
So you've got something that you want to say that you want to share so people know?
Yeah,
Okay, go right ahead.
my mommy lost 18 pounds,
hmm
Awesome.
What do you think about that?
and I think it's great
Hmm.
because Miss Diane can really kick her butt.
Now, if we were to boil this all down, right, you've got the results, you've got this amazing group of people that you're training with. If there was one thing that's been the most important thing to you, the best thing, what would you say that is?
Helping you see where you want to go, and helping you realize there's places you can go where you didn't think you were gonna go. I'm doing real push-ups now. I mean, pretty incredible. I've always been doing the modified push-ups my entire life, and if I've done real push-ups, they haven't been correct.
Yeah,
And in the last few
yeah,
months, I've actually been able to start doing a set of 8 real push-ups during a session, and
yeah.
yeah, that
So,
feels incredible.
so you're doing things that you probably never thought you'd be doing.
No. Mm-mm.
Hmm. Okay, so we talked about the results, we talked about the people, the atmosphere. a bunch of other details. Is there anything else that we're missing or you feel is really important to share about the program or about your results that you want people to know about?
Well, definitely something important to add would be um, just the ability to fix things that are not functionally working the way they should, such as postural issues, weakness on one side versus the other. That is something that they really target. They are aware of those issues that you have during a training session where they're able to basically fix things that you might not have even known were an issue. And for me, the impact of that has been increasing my hip range of motion, which has increased my stride with my running, um, improved my posture overall, which I know we all have that problem where we bend forward, everything brings us forward in what we do. So that's been another incredible thing about the program
Yeah.
and what they do.
Yeah. So life changing?
Absolutely. Without a doubt, life changing.
Okay. And now, let's say someone who's watched this maybe didn't see the first one and they're thinking of joining, right? They're 50-50, they're on the fence, not sure. What would you want to tell that person to convince them to say, this is the right spot for you?
Okay. What I would say, because I know my biggest thing for myself when I was joining was um, putting money out for myself and doing what I need to do for me. We're always so hesitant towards doing that. We'll put money out for other things in our life that we think are priorities. You are a priority. You know, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to do the things we need to do to help ourselves become better versions of ourselves. And
For sure.
this is just totally worth it.
Last question. Let's say they're closing up the shop, shutting the place down. I asked this question last time. Curious to see if it's changed at all, if it's the same thing. But let's say it goes bye-bye as of today. No email, no phone. You could never talk to anybody there ever again, especially trainers or Diane. Knowing it's the last time. What would you want to say?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I can come up with the words, but it's just been everything that you've done for me has just been something that's changed my life, changed who I am, changed what I think I could be. And I am so forever grateful. I don't even think I can give you the words to tell you just how grateful I am.
I understand that for sure. I really do. It's been amazing. And for me, it's been a pleasure because now I get to see the progress from where you were 10 months ago to now. And I honestly think this has just been an amazing journey. I know people watching this are going to be amazed by this. And I want to wish you continued success with everything else you're doing moving forward.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Leanne. You take care.
Okay, you too.